So I was 11, 12 years old when I first got involved in street homeless.
I've been homeless on and off for about 9 years. Like Christmas Eve in a shed. It was bad.
When I was homeless, it's just despair, because you're just thinking, right, well, done everything I can. No one's going to help me.
Just not being able to go home, I think a lot of people take that for granted.
When you've got nowhere else to go and nowhere else to look, you kind of feel like you're in a hole, no way to get out. No one should live like that.
You don't know what's going to happen. I suppose you just feel vulnerable generally.
I spent 20 years walking through hell. Basically, yeah.
I used to sleep here when I was very, very first street homeless, when I was in my 20s. Felt safer closing my eyes alone than with people, so. Sometimes it's embarrassing. You don't want people to see you roughing, so you're looking for places you can do it. It's just that little bit of privacy and maybe self-respect, if you like. So it's, it can be quite degrading being street homeless, really degrading.
Anywhere I try and sleep in town centres, in doorways or in bus stops and stuff, I'd get, pissed on, I'd get people laughing at me. This is the place I found where it was the most safest to stay, because there's not many people, not many drugs, not many alcohol, so I was just left to my own devices.
I was scared. There's no doubt about that, because we were in a tent in a field. It was embarrassing going to work, because it was like, do I smell? Are people going to ask questions because I might be in the same clothes that I was in yesterday? It was draining.
When I went to the streets, I started seeing things I shouldn't, and I started getting into things I shouldn't. It's horrible, because you don't know where you're going to be the next day, and you're thinking, how are you homeless?
Homelessness is an issue across Wales. Homelessness is not just rough sleeping. There are a lot of different ways that people can be homeless, whether they're in temporary accommodation, sofa surfing. And we at the Wallich operate under 3 core objectives, which are to get people off the streets, keep people off the streets, and create opportunities for people.
I was introduced to the Wallich. They gave me support, they gave me guidance, and they put me in a flat. But for the first 9 months, it was hard. It was hard. And then the story project came up, and I was like, oh my God, no, this is not going to be for me.
At the time, I was a bit weary of it. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm going to try it. It says story project, tell your life, tell your story. That's what I want to do. I want to be someone who tells stories, who writes stories, fictional, non-fictional.
The Story Project is a Wales-wide project. We had 10 weeks to work with a group of people in each region to come up with a story, and the way they told that story was up to them, and the only thing we asked was that they were region-specific, so that where they were was part of that story. But in terms of the content of the story, it was really up to the group and what they wanted to talk about. We made it very clear that this project wasn't about pulling up people's trauma to put it on a stage and entertain audiences. We wanted to empower people to tell their stories in their own way.
If you're struggling in life, if you're homeless, if you found yourself at a tough point, then creativity can be something that maybe you neglect in the day-to-day survival, day-to-day struggle for the basics. So having a place where you can go and be creative and forget these things for an hour or two and actually try to make sense of things, that can be really, really important.
it turned out really that each of the 8 regions did something completely different. So we had spoken word, we had traditional theatre, we had music, and it was really beautiful to kind of see how many different skills that people had and how many different ways that we sort of found to tell stories.
I was scared at first. I didn't want to talk because it was like, there's all these people, don't know them. As we went along, it was like, okay, I can really get into this. It's music, it's a songwriting. Do you know what? It does make you, it builds your confidence, especially where I've lost it, especially what I've gone through. My confidence was nowhere to be seen. It was a way to get out. It was a way to actually feel how you're feeling and actually go, well, I'm here now. I don't need to feel like that. And with other people that have gone through similar situations, I can leave that at the door. Especially with singing, you can put all your emotion into this song and then it's like as if a river's flowing and all your emotions have just gone down that river. So you can start a positive for the next week.
We went through the history of Newport, showing that we've had highs and lows, and I sort of pushed for it being a musical because I thought that'd be fun.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified.
I sang I Will Survive because it hinted at the isolation and the sadness of homelessness. The stuff I went through, I was able then to celebrate by doing the part that I did in the show. That meant I felt good about myself. I didn't want it to finish. I was really enjoying myself.
I will survive. Hey, hey.
The story project does give people that voice. They can voice their frustrations. They can voice, how they felt on the street, how they feel now when they're in accommodation but they're getting nowhere, or because I'm not saying it's all roses and sunshine. Like once you're in a project, it can be exactly the same problem as you found out on the street. But through this project, it's a chance to give ourselves a target to work towards. It gives people more confidence.
The Poetry Month was an eye-opening thing with the story project. We did a piece every week, but I find I do it quite a bit now, It's sometimes easier to share a story and find a flow in a story when you're writing it as a poem. It takes the weight off me. It's very cathartic. It's almost therapeutic. Even whether I share them or not, writing them down, seeing them there, it's almost like I can let go of certain things. After group the other day, I did a little writing, which I think everybody can relate to if they've been homeless. It's called The Key. A locked door, an entrance barred, a cold heart and a loveless world, a dream unfulfilled and a thought unfinished, a purpose not disclosed and a destination to be revealed. All these things that cause anxiety and stress, the disappointments of life, goals unmet. Inside all brave and courageous souls exists a key to a story untold.
I've always been a big believer that everybody should do something creative with their life. Having a roof over your head and paying the bills and all of that is essential to being a human. But that idea of finding out who you are and finding out what you're good at, and maybe those skills then being a way to helping you put a roof over your head or, look after yourself better, I think is important.
You could be totally stressed out, but once you walk into a theatre, for some reason the stress stays at the door. It never comes in with you. And then you can just be you. You don't have to be anything or hide anything. The more honest you are, the better things will turn out to be.
It wasn't until this project that I realised that the only way to heal and not let those things fester and reoccur and keep repeating habits of falling and failing is to let them off your chest, to put them out there into the world, and then maybe you can get a bit of peace like I have. So.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Since the Story Project, it's opened our creative minds to actually work through things ourselves and create stuff ourselves, you know. I've seen people change for the better, as self-esteem's raised and confidence is raised. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road.
The Story Project for me reignited a lot of passion, a lot of creativity in myself, and so now I'm thinking, well, maybe I should be open-minded about doing theatre or TV or anything else.
Coming here to the Story Project taught me how to work with other people, how to talk freely, how to be a bit more open. I felt very accomplished that I'd done something that I thought I'd never do before. And if I didn't have a chance to do it, I don't know where I'd be now.
I do see myself as an artist. Without the Story Project, I don't think I'd be where I am today. And that's doing college, that's actually got myself a flat and actually going, I can do this.
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind.
I look at trauma and all this stuff now as a way to be creative, as a tool, not as an anchor anymore. It's more of a reason to push through instead of hold back. And now, I'm an actor. I'm in professional productions. I've got an agent, and that is the Story Project.
And I'm really happy, and I don't think proud gives it its justice. I'm really over the moon that I was able to get past that, not just the homelessness but the mindset and the decay that was in my mind for those years.
The Story Project needs to continue because it gives a voice to people who don't think they've got a voice, or it gives them a loud hailer, in my case. I could have come and done it every day for the next however many years and would keep enjoying it every day.
I think we've got a huge amount of evidence to show the magic of this work, the effect that it's had on people, audiences as well. You know, we're really changing people's perspectives of homelessness and of individuals with lived experience of homelessness through showing them these amazing humans who are standing on stages doing incredible things. And I think we've really kind of built an army of people now who have got a lot of things to say and who are really, really keen to get on stages and shout about what they need.
Predictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Since the Story Project, I hope that things will keep going like they are. Creativity to me is the most important value in someone's life. Without creativity, you won't go life. Simple.
At the time of your life. That's fine.
Lonely, not entirely lonesome. On the street, never alone, but ever so lonely. Not safety, not homely. I was always surrounded by strangers and friends, but no real security and nobody I could depend. Then like a ray of light, eyes open wide, self-assured and purpose-driven, strengthened from inside. A roof overhead, a door I can close tight. My own home, I'm alone, but it's all right.